It's Bob Sansevier here with Pioneer Press Vikings beat reporter Jeremy Fowler.
Boom.
Pioneer Press Deputy Sports Editor John Plume.
Boom, boom.
Jeremy, Christian Ponder. Good pick, bad pick, what pick?
Good pick. Not an ideal pick at 12. I think in a perfect situation, they were able to draft back. Rick Spielman could have recouped that third-round pick he lost in the Randy Moss trade. Still got Ponder in the 20s. That would have been the ideal draft. He couldn't pull it off, but I don't have a problem with the pick. You got to pound. You got to stand for what you believe in and get a quarterback. And they did that. I think he's a better fit than some people think, even though he wasn't the highest-rated guy. I think he can be very good.
You know what? Frankly, and John, I would take the fact that the kid is obviously intelligent, and he did have a good career. He was hurt some of the time. I have no problem at all with the pick. And as I wrote something today, I'm just tired of all these draft analysts and experts saying it was a reach when all of them have flubbed before on guys like, Mel Kiper's a great example, when he said that Jamarcus Russell was going to be an elite quarterback in a couple of years and was John Elway-like.
I hate Ponder.
You hate Ponder.
He screwed up my mock draft.
Well, that'll happen.
What a jerk.
Would have been a great mock draft.
Okay, your mock draft was screwed up on the second pick.
Well, it was. I really like this guy. I mean, I've watched some video of him. He completed 68% of his passes as a junior. He had a down year as a senior.
He was hurt as a senior.
He was hurt, but he fits perfect into what they're trying to do with the West Coast offense. And I think the smart move at this point is to start him. He's got enough good players around him. The biggest concern with Ponder going forward, or him as a starter, is going to be the offensive line. Just how effective can McKinney, Hutchinson, Sullivan, Herrera, and Lodehold be after a really bad year last year?
Now, I'm not a guy like you, John, who shuts the blinds and watches tape. But I will say, of the clips that I've seen of Ponder, he can throw on the run, which you obviously want your quarterback to be able to do. So he does have some mobility, and he does have some speed, too. Jeremy, what are your thoughts about frankly, I would start him, too, this year. And isn't it an advantage that he has his offensive coordinator was the quarterback's coach for a guy who's been pretty successful and started as a rookie in Atlanta, Matt Ryan?
Yeah, the offensive similarities between what he learned at Florida State and what Musgrave is going to run is going to help his transition. However, I think him playing early hinges on the lockout. If you go to July or August, we're barely getting into the season, you can't just throw him in there. Even if he feels like he's ready, I think they still need time, maybe get a Matt Hasselbeck type. Not crazy about McNabb. I'd rather somebody else, I think, if I was the coach. But he'll be ready soon. I think if the lockout ends soon, he can get in there, get situated, and be ready for August.
Well, again, though, he's a very intelligent kid, finished school in 2.5 years, got his master's before his senior season. I think he'll pick it up as quick as any quarterback that's either, well, maybe not all of them in the league, but certainly better than some in the league already, and certainly faster than a lot of guys that came out. Now, John, do you find it somewhat ironic that the third-round pick that was lost in the Randy Moss trade was used for New England to acquire a quarterback or to draft a quarterback?
It was interesting that they took Ryan Mallett, but I thought it was even more interesting the fact that all these teams passed on that kid, which says a lot about his character, which goes back to all the rumors about him oversleeping for a meeting, being sick one morning for another meeting. I mean, in the end, if you compare the two guys, I mean, we're not going to know who's the best quarterback in this class is until 3 years from now. But I think once people get used to Christian Ponder and they see him play a little bit, they're going to like him. The best pick in this draft might turn out to be Kyle Rudolph, the tight end. I think you're going to see a lot of two tight ends with Percy and Rice on the field and Adrian in the backfield. I mean, those guys are going to make it. I think they're going to make it easier for him. And he talked about that at his press conference. They're setting the offense up so this guy can succeed. And Bill Musgrave knows how to run it. He did it with Matt Ryan.
Well, as long as they don't get him killed at that line.
Well,
as long as they don't get him killed.
Yes, but what you're saying is absolutely right, because you now give him to go along with Vasante Shanko, another big target who doesn't have to get down the field very far.
10 yards.
He can dump the ball off, and it keeps the chains moving, and it actually gives you the opportunity then. I think Adrian Peterson becomes more valuable because knowing you got two tight ends that you can just dump the ball off to, these teams have to be a little more respectful of what Peterson can do. And I like Locker going to the draft. I don't have a problem at all with Christian Ponder. Frankly, I think they will be the two best to come out of this draft. And Ponder did go to the right system. Now, what about the fourth round pick, the kid out of Iowa? Are you are you sure he dropped because there were concerns about him allegedly testing positive at the combine?
I think it's pretty clear. He wouldn't confirm it when we talked to him on Saturday, but he said when asked about the accuracy of the reports, he said it was confidential. that might give it away a little bit.
He didn't deny it.
He didn't deny it, but in the 4th round, it's pretty good value. I mean, he was a 2nd-round grade according to talent based on a lot of scouts and analysts. I think because of that, you take a chance on him in the 4th round. They've done that before. They're not afraid to take chances on guys. Percy, Everson Griffin. I think it could work out.
Well, the biggest thing that I would be concerned about if I were a team is not that presumably it was pot. I haven't heard anything stronger than that. But he didn't know the cycle, which a lot of guys figure out, because he's not the first guy who has ever smoked pot and wasn't to a draft. And other guys aren't found out because they understand that it takes longer for pot than other drugs to get through your system.
Yeah, you got to be smarter than that, though.
You just got to know the system.
It's only like 7 days, right?
No, it's 6 weeks for pot. That one stays in your system quite a while.
I mean, but there's quite a few guys that they make a bad decision. In the end, it costs them.
Learn from it, and they move on.
It costs them a couple $100,000 or maybe
at least
even $3 to $5 million. The thing with Ballard is he played on a great defensive line at Iowa. I mean, he played with Adrian Claiborne, who's drafted by Tampa, Carl Klug, who's a local kid who played at Caledonia. So he played with some talent on that D-line, and not a lot of teams in Division I could run on that football team. And he had a great coach in Kirk Ferentz. So, I mean, I expect Ballard to do really well here, but I also expect the Vikings to go into free agency and find themselves a tackle, because they're in a tough spot with the Williams wall probably suspended for the first 2 to 4 games.
Well, one of the Williamses may never play again because of his age. Now, very quickly, speed round on this one. Give me, in order, the NFC North, ranking them. You don't have to put a grade. Just tell me best draft pick to the worst. Boom! You're up, Jeremy.
Packers, Lions, Vikings, Bears. I think the Bears are mediocre.
You?
Lions, Packers, Bears, Vikings.
Here's my problem with the Vikings draft, real quick. They accumulated so many picks. They had 6 picks in the 6th and 7th round. How many times do those guys really pan out? I think that's a risk. And they didn't address the safety. Safety's a problem for them.
Apparently he didn't hear speed round.
I have things to say.
How about you? I know you got things to say.
I think the Lions with Martin Mayhew have done an outstanding job the past 2 seasons. They've got the making that. I mean, 2 years ago, a lot of people thought the Vikings had the best defensive front in football. I think right now you can say with Fairley and Sue at tackles and Vanden Bosch at defensive end, they're going to be tough to beat. And when you've got Phil Lodeholt, whose best blocking move seems to be grab the face mask and pull the guy down, and Bryant McKinney, who, maybe he'll continue to eat his way out of a job this year. Who knows? I just think that's the unknown.
Swing is better. He's been working out with.
Yeah, he looked great with Venus Williams. But that's the unknown here. I mean, a lot of people sat back and they were like, when are they going to draft an offensive lineman? And they didn't do it.
But you know what? They can address a lot of these things in free agency, and we'll find out about that. And we'll find out. You know what? Let's make we'll vow to come back here May 3rd, 2021, 10 years from now, and see how good Christian Ponder turned out to be. All right? See you later.